All right. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to move on to the business portion. We've got a bunch to cover. I'm going to try to keep it focused on a few things, but we'll go ahead with the secretary's report first.
Okay, a couple of days ago, I sent out the minutes from December. They were not extensive because that was the holiday party, but if there's any comments, additions, deletions, corrections, just let me know, w7rtm@arrl.net, and I will make those changes.
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate your dedication. And let's move on to Andy, treasurer's report. Oh, Andy's on mute.
There, am
There you
I, am
go.
I in? Okay.
You're in.
In keeping with keeping it brief, our total assets are $4,655.52. If anybody needs to know where it's distributed, I can read the whole report later.
Yeah, I see. I'm looking at the email here, and the usual cast of characters between checking, savings, PayPal, Square, and cash are the usual distributors, but it all comes out to that bottom number that I agree with, 14655.52. Any questions on details for that? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andy. So I see that Chris hasn't made it to the meeting. He must have had something come up. He said he was, even as of this morning, he said he would be here. So he must have had an outage to deal with. But I'll keep the repeater report item on here for when he comes, maybe the next time. But I had a great conversation with him last month, or no, this month, sorry. And I'll have some updates on that upcoming here at New Business. Okay, I have some old business here. I want to let everybody know we had the PRA board meeting in December as advertised. I said I was going to schedule it. I did. We held it. It was at Tommy's in the upper room. It was a very, very quaint little meeting. All of the directors and all the other members at large were there except for Bill. Bill's KE7ZKH, his health was unable, because of his health, he was unable to attend either in person or over the meeting. He had couldn't make it. But we did vote him in as a lifetime member. And you might have heard that at the December meeting, but if you didn't make the December meeting, I'm repeating it here. We have a couple of things going on. We have a subcommittee looking into creating a very lean digital vault of sorts, sort of a common place where we can keep all of our brain trust. Right now, many of us have sticky notes where we've kept, passwords of club things and whatnot. Any non-financial record type material is what we're looking at, and a lot of that is just needed to provide continuity. So we're working on that. And based on we had a discussion about what we wanted to do as far as improving our website at the board meeting. I took action on that. I met with Chris, AB7BS, and we had a great conversation, caught up on life. I hadn't seen him in 6 years. He seems to be doing well, and he would like us to, he's going to offer us some domain name options if we would like to use one of them that he has already claimed. And also he hasn't gotten it to me yet. He was supposed to get it to me by tonight, but he must have got busy. So we have an option to maybe get one of the other domain names that he got with the w7pra.com. What he wants to do is to change the w7pra.com website to have an instant landing page so that once you get to that website, it goes in one of two directions. It goes to either the PRA club or the PRA repeater system, and you have to make a choice and go in that direction. And both of us, in a positive way, cross-pollinating and advertising each other. And so again, I thought it was a great meeting. It was to propagate the amateur radio hobby in all different directions. And he offered even some, you know, open to other changes as need be. So I guess it's up to us to really just kind of come up with, you know, like a special committee to maybe develop and manage our website content. And so if you have any, if you would like to be a part of that, maybe send me a direct message at n0vlr@arrl.net, or message me, or respond to any form of communication except Morse code. I'm a little rusty. So just let me know, and we'll put something together, and I'll reach out to you a little later. But we would like to get our web presence reactivated for sure. I talked to somebody in the Roads, the secretary at the Roads Club, and he was like, well, I'm not sure who to contact. Can you help me out? And I said, we're working on it. So I said, for now, just contact me. And so he understood. He understood what it was taking to do. So any questions on the website? What we have is, you know, pretty much we have an opportunity going forward to collect the information that we have, present it the way we would like, and then, you know, get it hosted, and then Chris will send that link and reconfigure his page to accommodate the two. Anybody have any questions on that that I
Paul?
can answer?
Paul?
Yep.
Would you like me to send the meeting minutes from the board meeting minutes?
You know what? I don't have it in front of me to do that. They are available upon request for now. Let's you and I talk after the meeting. I don't remember the exact content, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
So Paul,
Yeah, so a lot of those notes that Ted's talking about have been overcome by events. We've already made decisions. We were wondering how we were going to do all this. And then the resulting meeting that I had with Chris answered a lot of those. That's why I was hesitating on sending the notes to cause confusion. Okay. Scott, did you have a question?
well, I was gonna say, and I think Anthony's here to maybe back me up on this. Yeah, the areas, you know, Benton County areas, we're starting up ham radio classes again, and maybe test sessions as well. And so I actually had the first class on Saturday, which we got all 2 people to show up to, and it was yeah, we didn't finish all the material. But anyway, the point is, though, I'm just wondering if we can link. What do you think of this, Anthony? Can we link Aries, you know, this activity through Aries with the club as well?
Yeah, I think that's the intention for the Aries class has always been open to anybody that in the area that wants to take part. So I think I mean, preference we usually went to members of the emergency response community, but we've always had plenty of extra room for anybody else. Okay.
So yeah, I was just wondering if we could just advertise through the PRA website as well.
Yeah, I think the wider the audience, the more people we can serve. So
sure, because people tend to look at clubs, you know, for that kind of information. So
yep.
No, there will be a general call for content at a later time, but that's a good point. I'll make a note of it, Scott, and thank you, Anthony. Okay, I'm moving on, and again, that's future forward looking. I'll be looking for anybody who wants to help out with this in any way. So feel free to send me a note. Okay, another idea that I had, and again, since we do Zoom meetings every month, I'm really trying to encourage more social gatherings throughout the year, especially as we're seeing more daylight per day. I'm very encouraged to be able to get together and do some more things. such as Park on the Air, maybe a coffee meetup, maybe on a Saturday morning or something like that. Maybe if anybody wants to do a group antenna raising. I'm looking for anybody who wants to coordinate any particular kind of social gathering that they would like to do. They would send out the message, ask if anybody wants to do it. I'll certainly repost it on the Ham Club online reflector, as the board members have access to be able to post there, because that's the large 51 member community that we have. So if you want to do that, let me know. I'm open. I can't. I don't want to just come up with new ideas and not have anybody else interested in doing that. So, okay. Couple of upcoming events, and I'll leave a spot for you, Olin, for contests if you have any. The ones that I can see here are the Salem Repeater Association on February 18th is going to be in Rickreall. I saw that posted. And 7QP is happening May 5th and 6th. I know Mike would be raising his hand saying something about it if he were here today. But he'll be here next month for the meeting to talk about it. Soon after the 7QP contest, we have field day, June 24th and 5th. And one other thing that I was looking to try to do once we get our website up and running is try to do a 2-meter simplex contest again. I thought that was kind of fun the last time, and maybe even involve other clubs too if they're interested. Olin, do you have any updates on any contests that might be of interest to all?
Not really. February is when all the big bash starts, and I don't have the exact dates on that. There's a QSO party starting, those state QSO parties, and they usually end about October, so be a little late for a couple of them, but they're still in the mix. Let's see. Last contest I participated in was the ARRL 10-meter contest in December. And that was a really good day for 10-meter. Both days are good for 10 meters. And so that's when I look forward to every year. It's in December, about the first weekend. So I'll have a little bit more next meeting.
Okay, anybody have any questions about the upcoming events or the contests? Anything to add?
Well,
Okay.
oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're the LC, out at LC, we're really developing our station out there. And once we're on the verge now of getting a Yagi for our tower. Once that thing's up there, I think we'll have a pretty good contest station. I think what we need really, I guess, to make it a full-blown, even, small contest station is an amplifier. And we'll have that also maybe a 500 watt or 600 watt amplifier, but we got everything else ready there. So it's a very good location. If anybody ever interested in, like Olin, we're more than happy to have you come out there and, try doing some DXing or contesting out there. Once we
That'd be fun. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, you'd be more than welcome to come out there. Come out with me a couple of times. I'll show you. Andy too, if you ever want to. I know you got your own setup, but if you find an advantage where we are, you've been out there already, seen it. But anyway, yeah.
Thank you, Scott, for that offer. And I understand that you'll have professional help in installing that antenna.
Yes, we will. I mean, the thing was, we ordered a particular one through Cushcraft through, basically DX Engineering is the distributor, but it doesn't matter. They told us, oh yeah, we'll have it ready, in like this month. Now they're telling us in June. So we decided let's just try to find maybe a used one and or something like that, because it was the big problem was the supply chain issues were going on, and Cushcraft was waiting. They were waiting for a big aluminum tubing shipment to build their antennas, and that finally came in the fall. And then now they're really backlogged with lots and lots of orders. So we were thinking, well, maybe we can find another antenna somewhere. And once we do, yes, we'll have a professional bucket lift outfit. I mean, a power company. I can't remember which one, not Pacific Power, but it's the other one. Will come out and help us get that because they helped us with the tower in the first place. Which one?
Consumers Power.
Consumer, right? Yeah, they brought out a professional crew to get our tower put up, and which was great. And they're going to help us with a bucket lift to get that antenna up there too. So, well, we're all ready to go. We're just waiting for the antenna. I mean, we got other antennas, we got dipoles and all that stuff up there, but we really want the beam. So as that gets up there and ready to go, we'll be looking pretty good, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the offer, Scott, and the heads up.
Everybody-
Other couple of things that are sort of new business that I'm kind of working on, but it all has to do with, I'm waiting for the website to germinate so that I have something to speak about. But I want to create more of a welcome and a renewal packet of information for people that are joining the PRA club or the ones who are renewing, and just give them sort of a resource list. I think it's very helpful. The messages are pretty sparse right now. I'd like to improve that. So it is on my to-do list. I just need to have some content to point to. Things like the Google groups that you can sign up and who do you talk to. There's a 7QP reflector. That's another resource. Stay tuned for, upcoming activities that we're going to do out throughout the year. Look at the website, et cetera, et cetera. So again, the website comes first. Hannah, I'm going to ask for a little bit of help here because this is my first time doing it, or actually Anthony, either one of you. I know you've always held me straight and narrow on the bylaws here, but we have an annual meeting in March where we consider any changes to the bylaws. We vote on director positions and any motions from the membership. Can anybody speak authoritatively on that, or because the bylaws are pretty sparse on what to do there?
Well, the intention of the bylaws is that there's a window once a year to make any necessary changes that we've found throughout the year that are problems with the bylaws and how things are working. And it's not in an emergency posture. So the ability to change the bylaws is easier in the procedure that happens once a year right before the meeting. Traditionally, we've had a committee, a bylaws committee, that have gone through and drafted everything if we have if we have concerns or something to go there. But if there is no perceived need to amend the bylaws during the window, then we don't necessarily have to, and we don't necessarily have to have a committee. I think the deal is, and I'd have to read the bylaws again. It's been a long time since I wrote them, but the deal is, I think we have to get, there's a super majority to change the bylaws if you do it out of cycle. So if you just have an emergency, you can declare an emergency and say that you need an emergency bylaw change, but it takes a super majority, I think, of both the board and the membership to propose and ratify it. So anyway, if there's no need to have that this year, if we think the bylaws are working well, then we just let it ride. And I haven't seen anything that's saying that things are working poorly, in my opinion, but maybe there's other people that think other things, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Paul,
Take an action to send out I'll send out a note to see if anybody has any requests for changes. Olin?
I did forget one thing that I think is of interest to everybody, particularly DX hounds. 3 Yankee Oscar Juliet 3YOJ will be supposed to be active on Bouvier Island on the 22nd of January. That's considered the world's most remote island, and it's #1 on many DX hunters' list to get. So it promises to be a good the expedition. You go to their website, you can track the boat when it leaves the Falkland Islands. So they are going to have GPS tracker on. 22 January, if all goes well. That's it.
Thank you, Will. And I know at the Christmas party, the holiday party, Mike gave a quick introduction on that. And that was a big deal as he was, greasing up his antennas, getting ready for that one.
Yeah.
Brett, did you have something, or did I see somebody else raise their hand? Okay. Nothing heard. Okay. Anthony, can you remind me if we have to do any, we don't have to do any particular position discussions this month, but next month, I think, is what we can anticipate, right?
Yeah. So generally speaking, the nominations for board positions open the month prior to the membership meeting. And the same thing for like a change of the bylaws, if I remember right, the text of the change has to be read in a meeting prior to the vote. Or something to so that stuff opens up starting in February, and particularly the nomination period for officers usually starts in February and runs up until the opening of the March meeting.
Officers and directors.
Members of the board.
Yes.
Okay, great. I will make sure that I get something out electronically prior to the February meeting to see if there's any changes so that we can make this efficient and not miss the window and then have to deal with consequences of extreme nature, as Anna put it.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, it's kind of been this is the meeting where the reminder goes out to people that elections will be coming up in a couple of months, and if there's any bylaw changes, now is the time to be thinking of those. And if anybody has a change to propose, that now is the time to be writing that down, so that can have its reading at the next meeting, and then go forth from there.
Okay. All righty, so I'm going to open it up for any other topics that we haven't already covered, or if anybody has any questions on the ones that I did raise. This is a great time to bring it up.
I just want to say, Paul, I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to have to break off at this point. And it was great seeing everybody. Welcome, you guys. And hope to see you again. And if nothing else, next month. Remember, if anybody's interested in coming out to LC, let me know, and I can arrange a trip take you out there. You can check out what we've got. Anyway, we'll talk.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care. Okay, going once. If anybody else has any other topics, now's a good time. If not, I'll go ahead and close the meeting.
I've got a question. I'm not sure if it's a dumb question or not. Regarding the difference between the repeater system and the club. I'm kind of new here. I'm wondering what's the difference or the separation.
So the club is it's the so the repeater system is owned by Chris, AB7BS. He is a member, is a lifetime member of this club. It is his network. We offer to make sure that we support that in whatever way he needs. We have worked together quite closely for many years on this, although we've had some, with COVID and other life situations, we've not been as in contact with him. And that's why this meeting, he was supposed to come in and say hello and say, yeah, here I am. But we encourage, him in his support of the repeater system. And we also, try to use it on our daily commutes and and whatever else. And so there will be probably a more clear statement. I don't want to speak on behalf of Chris, so I'm just being very conservative here with
Sure,
my message, Brett.
Cool, thank you. That makes sense.
Yep. But we are focusing a lot on, radioactivity and education, as you can see by our meetings. We have kind of peeled back from our face-to-face meetings for one and one only reason. And that was because the place that we were going to at Tommy's, because of staffing difficulties in getting people to work there, they had to charge us, a bunch of money just to rent the hall that used to be free. And so we've just sort of said, we kind of rolled back our ideas and kept it on Zoom for now. And then when the weather gets better, we'd like to meet more in person and do more face-to-face activities. But that's our goal here.
Cool.
Okay.
I'd like to say that it's not just one meeting or one and only reason, because having the virtual meetings allows people like Brett and Tyler to participate.
You're right, Ted. And also Paul, who dropped off earlier, W7PEB, I think, from Roseburg. So
That's
you're
right.
right. We were looking at
Tyler's a
trying
neighbor.
to. Yep. And also, we were looking at trying to see what would it take to offer both an in-person and a virtual meeting. We did run a virtual meeting on the December meeting, but we didn't have any takers, so we just closed it after 15 minutes and we just all met, organically, because there was many of us were in the room at that time anyway. So good point. Anybody else have any questions? And Brett, that's not a dumb question, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
And that's what the website is supposed to help clarify, and we need to get back on that track. So yeah, don't ever be afraid to ask a question.
Tyler, it looked like you were in Crater Lake anyway. Tyler's in Crater Lake.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
We were just commenting on you being in Crater Lake, but there's a lot of snow up there right now.
Oh. Yeah,
No, that's the background
good.
for my QSL card.
it's very nice. I hope to make it out there one day. I have yet to do so. I know, I'm a shameful Oregonian. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting. I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank especially Ron for presenting at the last minute. Some of the new faces we haven't seen in a while, and and Brett, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next month. And hello to Andy. We didn't get a chance to introduce Andy, AA7AV, because he came in halfway through the presentation, but good to see you. I think you're double muted. You're mute on, yeah. You're fine on Zoom, but you must have a mute on your phone or something or whatever, but you're not coming through.
Probably's got the incorrect mic selected.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, maybe next time, Andy, you'll but good to see you anyway. Haven't seen you since our picnic. But thanks for joining us. And until next month, you'll see some emails coming out from either Hand Club Online or maybe the Reflector, depending on what I end up putting out there. But please keep in mind, I need some help and participation on anything that we would like to do to further propagate our social and web presence. Thanks all.
All right, goodbye.
Thanks, Paul.
Have a good night,
Meeting
all.
is adjourned.
Thanks, Paul.